Welcome y'all to DIY Food Plot Pro. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. Please help me grow this channel by smashing that like and subscribe button and sharing it with your friends. Okay, today we are talking about soybeans. This is the second video in the soybean series. If you haven't watched the first one, go back and watch it. I'll post a link and watch it first. That's the general soybeans. This is the actual how to do it on your farm, okay? So we're gonna just jump right into this, and this is a huge topic that a lot of folks talk about. They say you can't do it. You can't do it on small acreage. You can't do it. Yeah, you can. And I'm gonna show you exactly how. Well, a lot of you may say, who am I? Okay, who's this guy trying to tell? Maybe he's never even done it before. I farm for a living, and I also have a whitetail deer hunting outfitter, okay? I do this multiple times. All the things that I'm sharing with you are things that I have found that works for me on my properties in high density deer zones, okay? So yes, you can plant soybeans on small acreage successfully. I've done it multiple times, and I'm about to show you how to do it. First thing that we're gonna talk about, being timely with all of our deal that we're going to do, okay? We have to be on time. So go out in that spring green up. For us, that's like late March, early April, when the frosts are still kind of coming, but they're starting to slow down a little bit, and you're nearly out of that frost and freeze days. We're going to go out and we're going to get our fertilizer on, okay? And we're going to get that ground sprayed with glyphosate and get that stuff browning down. It's going to keep your plot clean. That makes it so much easier for when you go in there to work that ground, and if you don't have a no-till planter, which most of us don't. So keep your ground sprayed. I see so many folks that really struggle with their food plots because they don't get their ground sprayed. And then they go out and their grass is knee high and they say, can I spray and disc in the same day? It's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. If you have huge equipment like most food plotters don't, yeah, you can handle that stuff. It's much harder to do when we're doing it with small equipment like most food plotters are. Keep your ground sprayed, okay? The cleaner you can keep that ground when you get ready to go in there until, I promise you, it's gonna make your life so much easier. Okay, so we get our fertilizer and our lime on. How much fertilizer and lime? I'm going to say for our area, 200 to 300 pounds of 92330. Your soils will vary from mine. Get your soil test to make sure on that. If you need help with fertilizer math, go back and watch my King of Whitetail Food Plots. I go through an in-depth training on how to do fertilizer math for you. Make it super simple for everybody to understand, okay? Spray our ground, put our fertilizer down, show up to work the ground. We're either going to work it with a disc, we're either going to work it with a tiller, a plow. We have to work that ground if we don't have a no-till planter. If you have a no-till planter, you can omit all of this that I'm talking about, and you can just go in and plant, okay? About a month after your last frost freeze date, okay? Soybeans will jump when the ground is warm. You'll be shocked how fast those beans will grow when the ground is in warm state, 70, 75 degree soil temperature. They will skyrocket out of there, which helps you greatly in fighting off the deer that are trying to eat it while it's coming up, okay? So then we are going, so we've got our fertilizer on, we got it sprayed, we got our fertilizer on, we got our ground worked. Now we're going to inoculate the seed. If you didn't watch my last video on soybeans, go back and watch that. I'll post a link to it that talks about inoculating the seed. Inoculate the seed, and then we're gonna sow it. Remember, we're gonna sow, my last video, that same video I just showed you, we're gonna sow about 650,000 seeds per acre. Yes, it's a lot. Yes, it's expensive. That's the way to do it to be able to get your plot established, okay? So we're gonna spray, we're gonna fertilize, we are going to work our ground, we're going to inoculate, we're going to sow it, and then we are going to cover it. Now the very best way to do it, in my opinion, is if you can get in there with a disc and work it. It's gonna leave little U's. You're gonna see all kinds where those disc blades are in, okay? Throws up a little hill. So it's kind of like this right here. That's the best way, because then when you go back and you're spreading by hand, you spread that seed all out and it falls down in those little trenches, okay? Then when you come back with your disc, you can just disc it. It'll move the trench from here to here, and all of a sudden your seed's covered. No more than 2 inches deep. Inch and a half is perfect for soybeans, okay? you're not going to get them all covered. That's just part of broadcasting seed, okay? It just doesn't work that way. I wished it did, but it just does not work that way. But sow it thick, 4 to 6 bags an acre, 650,000 roughly seeds per acre. Get it on there and get it covered. And most importantly, do it before a rain. If you can time this right before a rain, it will help you tremendously. Because why? Because a lot of those beans are still going to be basically on top of the ground, but you've got fluffy ground at that point, right? Because you've worked it like I told you to work it. You get a good heavy shower on that, say 3/4 of an inch, inch and a half, whatever. It's going to push those seeds down and it's going to cover it with soil, which is perfect, okay? Deer will go out there, your seeds on top, and they will eat the seeds on top. They'll eat those beans. So make sure you do this before rain. That's when I have found that it does the very best. You don't have to. That's not a requirement. Beans will sit there for a long time without moisture, and then when they get it, they'll germ up. No trouble, okay? You're looking at about a 3 to 7 day window, depending on if your beans are treated or not, to be able to start seeing plants coming out of the ground, okay? Beans they're quick, they jump, right? And then we're gonna get on to the deer damage and the deer trouble that you're gonna have as soon as that happens. Go to my last video, watch that again. If you haven't already watched it, that is the soybeans part 1. Or another good one is why our food plots normally fail, or why do they fail? That one explains this in depth, what is about to happen to your plot, because it's going to happen if you're in a high density deer area. And then our plants are established, our plots are established. All we have to do at that point is keep the ground sprayed, okay? Now, one important note to mention, if you are getting a tremendous amount of deer damage, okay, and you think they are really, really hurting you, one thing to do that's a little bit of a trick is you can let that grass get up. Do not let that grass get up 18 inches tall and your beans down there 2 inches. When I'm saying this, I'm saying get them close to the same level. If your beans are 3 or 4 inches, let the grass get 3 or 4 inches, okay? Then go in there and spray it. It gives your beans a little bit of protection. But if you listen to what I'm saying, you do what I'm telling you to do by planting enough, you go back and watch those other videos and I tell you how to keep deer out of your beans while they're being established, you're not going to have any trouble. I never have to let my plants get grassy, my plots get grassy, and then go back in and spray them. Because I do this a certain way and I do it every single year this exact way, and I've never once had a soybean plot fail me, okay? So take this advice, run with it. Soybeans are a great food plot for summer. They are a great food plot for hunting velvet bucks over, if your state allows you to do that. That it is also a great pull. You can tell what your inventory is. And if you are still able to bait, which most of us are not, there's a lot more and more population that's not able to bait. This is a great way to be able to get your inventory, because this is an absolute, almost like a drug to whitetails. It will pull them in from the masses. I'm telling you, if you've never tried soybeans on your farm, it is amazing the pulling power that these little bitty green plants have when it comes to a whitetail and what they prefer to eat. It is likely the most preferred food source for a whitetail throughout the entire summer. They are going to hit it as soon as they find it. If you plant in April or May, and they are going to be hitting it all the way until late September, October for us, when those plants start turning yellow. That's when they're going to leave it. They're going to abandon it at that point. That's why I don't do this for a food plot to hunt over in the fall. I do it for summertime food plots. Thank you for watching, guys. I am really excited about bringing y'all a lot of episodes. We are really getting close to that point to where I can get out in the field and start working plots and showing you how I do exactly these things on video. Right now, we're just in wintertime. We got a huge ice storm up here right now, and I haven't been able to really get out and show you a lot of these details. But in the summer and spring, I'm really excited. I'm going to fill y'all in on exactly how to do it. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. I'm really excited for that, and I hope you are too. Smash that like and subscribe button. Help me grow this channel. Thanks.